Hey everybody, today we're going to go over, they did an update a couple days ago on Creatures of Sonaria, so I'm going to go through the update. I actually copied out the update notes from the Discord channel to put up on the screen here, so I can read them off. I don't want to screw it up, so I'm going to tell you exactly what they put out. The first one is sniffing is now far more verbose and has a bubble of info above your target. Players now display their species and username. So this is something I actually covered during my live stream I did a couple days ago. And when it first came out, and there was still a bunch of glitches, but it still shows the lines come out to the meat, the herbs, and the water like it always has. Blue lines for water, green lines for herbs, and red lines for meat. They also added a purple line that comes out if there is a creature nearby, like mostly predators and stuff. And no matter what you're looking at, it'll have a little bubble above it that the line's going to, and it'll tell you what it is. So if it's a herb, it'll say herb on it, and it'll tell you how much food is left on that particular herb. So as you're eating it, you can actually see the number ticking down if you still have the smell up, and you can see like when it's going to be finished and see if you're going to need more, and it'll tell you also at the very bottom if there's more food nearby. I've only seen it ever say yes because usually there is more food nearby, at least for the herbs anyway. The meat, it'll tell you that's meat. It'll tell you if it's rotten meat or fresh meat, and it'll tell you if what kind of creature it came from. As for looking at the fresh water, it just says fresh water on it. That's all it says. It doesn't say anything fancy on it. And then for the creatures, the purple line comes out and it says whether the creature's a predator or not. So it'll say yes or no. It'll tell you what kind of creature it is and who the player controlling it is. It won't tell you their in-game name, like when you see the chat bubbles going through, it won't tell you that same name. It'll tell you, I guess, their actual Roblox name. So it's kind of cool, but there's also, I kind of missed being able to be, I don't want to say mysterious, but I guess mysterious is the best word for it. You could go ahead and do your thing without people knowing who you are and trying to, like, I don't know, bother you or harass you or anything. So that's what the new sniffing thing, so it doesn't say on the bottom of the screen anymore there is a Zuku nearby or anything like that. It just tells you, it just has lines come out. The only thing I've noticed, it doesn't pick up all the creatures nearby. I don't know if it only picks certain ones up for certain reasons. I've been at the Oasis and seen 5 different bubbles up at once when I hit sniff button. Other times I've seen no bubbles come up. So I don't know if it's glitchy or if there's certain conditions that have to be made before it'll pop up. Next, it says food decay time has been greatly increased. Oh, it does tell you too for meat in the little bubble. It tells you how much time left until it rots. So that's pretty cool. And it looks like they increased the time so the meat will last longer, so you don't have to worry about the meat spoiling too fast. They added 6 new plants for herbivores to eat, each with their own unique fruit, and that's really cool looking. They look really neat. Instead of just having the bushes all over the map for the herbivores with just red, blue, red, blue, purple, or something in orange, I don't know, different little fruit, like ball fruit on it. They actually have different size and shaped bushes, and they all have different kinds of fruit on them. Some look like donuts, some look like melons, some look like little oranges and stuff. It's really cool. They did a really good job on it. One thing they did have, I didn't put this in the notes because it was a later update, but before they used to have maybe 3 or 4 places on the whole map that were just crammed with all those bushes, so you had to go to those places to eat the herbs. Now they actually spread them out, so they're all over the map, everywhere. I have not seen any like in the desert area, but there's some like in that one flowery area near Oasis, and there's one with the hot springs right behind Oasis. And anywhere there's grassy area, they're everywhere now. So it's really cool, and so it's easy to find herbs again as a herbivore. Food visually reflects how much is left. That's what I told you earlier, so you can see the numbers going down. And it actually, like it says, they visually did it too. So like the meat, you'll see the rack of ribs, and you'll see the meat slowly shrinking as you're eating it. And the same thing with the plants, you'll see the fruits and whatever slowly disappearing on it as you're eating it. So it's really cool. It's kind of neat. So you can kind of see before you even approach it how much meat and stuff's left. It is now possible to drink from a few more areas. This is something I did go over during my live stream a couple days ago, but what it does is you can now drink from a lot of like the big water areas instead of having to go to Volcano, Oasis, that little lake in the middle of the desert, or the little waterfall areas or whatever. You can now there's more places you can drink water at, so you're not stuck at drinking at those particular places. So it kind of opens up the map more for people to not have to sit in certain areas just to get food and water. So I guess it ups the survivability for some people. Where are we at here? Food now has physics, no matter what. It just, the food moves around a lot. Like the rack of ribs, as you're eating it, it like shakes everywhere, and I guess it does a lot more stuff, but I didn't really care or notice that much with the old style, so the new style is not really that noticeable, other than seeing the rack of meat wiggling as you're eating it and stuff. The species selection window is the main menu now reflects which creatures are photovores and photocarnies rather than just classifying them as herbivore and carnivore. I don't know if it's actually in like the menu where you pick stuff. I didn't pay attention to this part, but you know, when you're clicking on your creature, down in the bottom left corner of their little window, instead of just saying herbivore or omnivore or carnivore, it'll say photovore and photocarny now. I don't know if there's actually classification on the menu. I have not paid attention to that because I already knew what I was picking when I came into the game. Fixed a bug causing damage numbers to be offset. I didn't really notice that. So when if the creature had a breath attack, I didn't really notice that. So if you know what it's talking about, cool. I've used breath attacks a handful of times before the update. I've used it a bunch more since after the update, but I don't really notice any difference. Fixed all bugs for incorrect or ambiguous food and water interactions. That is still causing problems for me. I still have trouble whenever I try to do stuff with food and water. Maybe it's just my computer, I don't know. Fixed the bug causing meat chunks to decay instantly. I remember doing that all the time. I haven't tried it since the new update came out, but I remember I used to do it with my Nito all the time. I'd go to grab meat, but I couldn't grab. I was too weak to pick up the whole rack, so I didn't grab it just a small chunk, and within seconds it would rot. I have not tried that this time, but I'm glad they fixed that because that was really irritating. And it fixed the bug that caused berries to decay instantly. I never noticed that. I used to pick berries all the time and bring them over to my nest and stuff. I never had a problem with it. Maybe I just never noticed it. I've done it once since the new update came out, so maybe it's different. I don't know. Fish behavior change. This is a big one. Okay, so before this update, they had sharks and stuff in it, which was pretty cool. Now the fish are all over the place instead of just being in those little schools in certain parts underwater. But they'll be sitting there individually places. As you get close to them, they will swim away, so you have to chase them down and get them. So it's not just easy kills. You have to actually chase your food down now. The Barracudas are now sitting around at different parts of the map, and if you start getting close to them, they'll come after you and attack you. That's not really that much different than they used to be. And now there's sharks. Big old sharks. They don't take long to kill. With some of my creatures, I did 2 bites and they're dead. If I have the stronger creatures, they obviously take more with the weaker creatures, but the sharks will swim around and chase and try to attack you. I don't know how much damage they've done. I've never really had that opportunity. I've killed them too quick to really notice. I've seen some actually like stick their faces out of the water and try to get people and stuff, so that's pretty cool. And there's shrimp. There's little shrimp. The shrimp really don't do anything. I swam up to them and killed them. They didn't swim away or nothing. I don't know if they're not supposed to, or if there's something else they're supposed to do, or maybe if they're supposed to be sitting there, sitting ducks. I don't know. But there's a lot more food now under the water instead of just little schools of fish here and there. Next we got fixed issues where sniffing would sometimes target the wrong item. I never really noticed that too much before this update, but I mean, if it was a problem, I'm glad they fixed it. I definitely don't have any problems now. The Annie now has a healing floor that is, it will never heal less than 50 HP in a single heal beam. I guess they just made it so instead of it, I know when I did my video before about the Annie, before the update, I was healing myself and others for like maybe 15 at first, not much. So it looks like now they made it a minimum of 50 hit points in a single beam. Fixed a bug causing Annie healing orbs to be left behind when teleporting. I honestly didn't know you could teleport in this game. I know it's not an ability, but maybe, I guess you can maybe teleport friends or something is what it's talking about. I don't know. I never really knew you could teleport in here, so cool. Fixed part of the issue causing infinite loading. The issue will not entirely fix it, as most of it's completely out of our control. I think that's something that I've experienced at the opening menu before, where just since they're saying it's loading forever, they can never get in the game. I think that's what they're talking about. I definitely didn't have that problem since the update, but they also removed footprints, which is cool. It was just extra stuff on the screen I didn't need anyway. So before you used to walk around, you'd see your footprints following you. Looks like they removed them anyway. Removed old bush models, okay, and removed old picked berry models. Makes sense. There's been other smaller updates that I didn't put in here. The one I told you already earlier, but there's also one where they now make the color of the meat the same color as the blood of certain creatures. I know like the SAR has like green blood, so now its meat's green. So actually, it's when it dies, it actually looks like its meat's already moldy. It doesn't, or rotten, not moldy. So it's hard to, you have to kind of look at that. There's people who had like yellow blood, and now their meat's yellow and stuff. So that's pretty cool. I think there's someone who's purple. I can't remember. So their meat's purple now. So that's kind of neat, because then that's kind of cool little detail they changed in there. There you go. That's the new update. I'll try to update you guys as things keep going, but I'm obviously not going to make a video for every little tiny thing you change. Maybe I'll talk about it, little bits and pieces in future videos. If you like this video, please let your friends know. Pass this on, share this with everybody. Give me a thumbs up. Any kind of like or comment or anything you can do to help me out and boost me up, that'd be great. Thank you so much. I'm going to continue to try to make my videos better and better, just for you guys to enjoy it just as much as I enjoy it. I like to look up this kind of stuff, so we'll see how it goes. Hit the little bell doohickey so you know I post more videos. I'm going to try to post at least one video a week, and I'll try to do 2 if I can. And I'll see you guys around.